Let's talk a little bit about humility and arrogance. So, both humility and arrogance are corollaries of the belief in being a separate body mind, a limited separate body mind. Because when you believe yourself to be something limited, there is always scope for diminishment and aggrandizement. Any finite quantity can always be reduced to another smaller finite quantity and increased to a larger finite quantity. So, as long as you believe in boundaries, in separation, you will be in the duality of fear and desire, attempting to aggrandize that boundary, increase the size of that perceived boundary, and to prevent the decrease of the size of that perceived boundary. So, those who imagine their boundaries to be excessively large can be called relatively arrogant, who have an inflated self concept, a concept of themselves as something far more than what they actually are. And humility can be defined as a low or modest or reduced opinion of oneself. But these both depend upon duality because there will always have to be a pair of things with assigned values, and the comparison made between those pair of things with assigned values in order to define humility and arrogance. But that which is one cannot be compared with anything else, and therefore the concepts of humility and arrogance do not apply to that which is one. There's nothing else to compare it with. And the absolute truth of pure consciousness is one. It is the only reality. So it plays this game of boundaries and limitations and growth and decay and aggrandizement and diminishment and conflict and problems and competition and ego, basically, as the very complex game of divine hide and seek, in which it puts itself through limitations, goes through the epic quest of destroying those limitations over time and through space. But it is perfect and indestructible and infinite and eternal, and therefore it does not need to to aggrandize or diminish. It does not need to aggrandize itself or fear any diminishment because it's boundless. Nothing can be taken away from it regardless of circumstances. Nothing can be added to it regardless of positivity of circumstances. It is eternally perfect. So when this realization hits you, you're neither humble nor arrogant. You're simply as you are, absolute, indestructible, and immune to the vicissitudes of life which cause egoic aggrandizement and diminishment. Boundless, no boundaries are present in it. Therefore, the concepts of growth and decay are meaningless to it, and it is appearing to itself as this incredible universe in order to play the game of hide and seek with itself and find itself after an epic journey through space and time and suffering and conflict. And we are it. We are not the limited boundaries that we imagine ourselves to be. We are perfection instantaneously. And that is freedom from suffering, freedom from fear, freedom from desire, and attainment of perfect ecstasy here and now.